Hi, I'm Danny. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to review and test the OTOFIX D1 Lite. I've already done the initial setup, but I do want to show you what comes in the case, but we'll do that towards the middle of the video. For now, let's get to the car and hook this thing up. Let's go ahead and plug in the VCI into the data link connector. Turn on the key and get this turned on. And we got the OTOFIX. So here we're at the home screen, and if I swipe it, I get more options. I'm going to come back, and I want to go to the service. So this has 38 resets, including electronic parking brake, which is a big one. So let's go ahead and go back to home button, and let's go to diagnostics. And we're going to go to Honda. And then we're going to go to automatic selection. It's going to read the VIN. And we're USA. And we're going to go to diagnostics. And because this is Bluetooth, I don't have to be sitting in the car. So I'm going to go over to the bench and pick it up from there. Now for me, this is much more comfortable. I've got my computer here, which I can get my service information. So if you can afford the extra money for a Bluetooth scanner, I would definitely recommend it. Now from my diagnostic menu, I want to pick my control unit. I want to go to the engine control unit. I want to read my codes. And I've got a P2185. It's an engine coolant temperature sensor 2 circuit high voltage. Now, I'm going to push search, and it's going to do a Google search. And here it tells me a lot of information about that engine coolant temperature sensor. And it even says show more. And it'll tell me the location and how to check it. And if I still need help, it'll give me some YouTube videos on that. So let's back out. Let's back out one more time, and let's go back into engine. And I want to go to active tests. So the reason I have that code is because I'm working on the cooling fans right now. And since we're here, let's go ahead and turn them on, and let me show you what's going on with the fan. So I'm going to turn on the fans manually. If you look at the fan here, I only have one fan on, and I should have both fans on. So without getting too far into diagnostics here, because I'm actually working on another video on this, let me at least show you what's going on with the cooling fans. But before I do, let me show you what you get when you purchase the OTOFIX. I've got everything out of the case laid out here on the bench. We have our packing list. I like to look at these every time I buy a tool just to make sure I'm getting everything I'm supposed to. This is the reference guide. When I first got the scan tool, I went to charge it, and I charged it in the data port. It needs to be charged in the charging port. This manual was very helpful. This is the VCI. It comes with a little light so you can find that DLC. It's a Bluetooth dongle. This is a 7-inch screen. It's very thin. It feels kind of like an iPad. If I flip it over, it's got a camera. It's got speakers. And then this is your ports. So that's the charging port. That's the data cable. This is where you're going to transfer the data to your computer. The slot here is for the micro SD. This will expand your storage. This is the data cable and charging cable all in one, and this is your charger. If you don't have Wi-Fi access, this USB to Ethernet adapter will allow you to plug right into the internet. This is what it looks like when it's all stored and protected in the case. Now back to the fan. Now I'm going to use the ground lead on the power scan. And I'm going to go to the black wire that goes directly to the fan. And then the power scan, the tip is going to power it up. And the fan actually works. So it's not the fan. It's something to do with the wiring and the powering up. And that's the video that I'm working on. So make sure you subscribe so you can see that video when it comes out. Turning on the radiator fans isn't the only thing this can do. It'll do an evap test, a VTEC solenoid test, an AC clutch, it'll turn that on, injector test, IMT test, which is the intake manifold flap position. It'll do a TAC test, which is your throttle actuator control, fuel pump. There's another injector test, EGR test. There's our radiator fans, fuel pump, and cruise control cancel history. And on a lot of cars, it'll have a lot more, but on this one, it only has the idle stop starter counter check. I've got the car running right now because I want to show you how to do graphing. So we're going to go back into the ECM. I'm going to go over to live data. And I'm going to pick engine coolant temperature sensor 1 and engine coolant temperature sensor 2. And then I'm just going to say graph merge. So the blue line is engine coolant temperature sensor 1 and the green line is engine coolant temperature sensor 2. And if you see the blue line, it's a little bit higher because the thermostat has to open before engine coolant temperature sensor number 2 warms up to that same temperature. So I'm going to go over there and unplug engine coolant sensor temperature number 1 and let's see what happens in that graph. Here we go. I'm going to plug it back in. I'm going to unplug it, plug it back in. As you can see in that last demonstration, graphing sensors make things easy to see, especially if you're looking for intermittent problems. Now, everything I showed so far was in the ECM, but I can do the same thing in any other module. Let's go ahead and go to Body Electrical. Inside Body Electrical, we have control unit information, we have lighting, we have door locks, keyless transmitter, security, and wipers. Let's go over to wipers. We have live data, active test, erase codes, read codes. Let's do some active tests. Windshield washer command, let's do that one. Turn them off. Let's do the wiper command. Turn it off. I hope this video was helpful today in choosing what scan tool is right for you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I'll put links in the description if you want to purchase this and any related videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.